Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to this guide I put together about beating God of the Fomors. So, two things I want to go over in this are the different kind of attacks he does and the two different types of groups there are and what their jobs are and how to do it and all that good stuff. So, first off, you're going to want some sort of HP potion just because when you first start doing this fight, you are going to be taking a lot of hits. And then you're going to want spears and bombs, which are optional. I'll talk about that later. That's more for breakoffs. And then you're going to want some sort of party revival feather because you don't want to be that guy in the group where you get revived and then you don't have anybody to revive you. And trust me, you're going to need all the feathers you can get sometimes. So, again, two types of groups. First is going to be the attack team. You're going to want to be over level 60 and you're going to want to have about 10 to 12k attack so that you can actually do damage on them. Because if not, you're not going to do much. It's kind of useless. Second is Belissa Squad. So, not so much for damage, but more for breakoffs. I'll talk about this more in a little second. But first off, as soon as you jump into the map, he's going to have an auto attack and it'll line everybody up in front of him. So please, for the love of God, just dodge sideways or you're going to die like that guy did right there. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to jump right over to the shelter and you're going to want to start building it back up because this will give everybody a buff that, I mean, if they're in there, they'll get 1,500 extra attack and some other buffs you'll see on the screen. Okay, so we're going to start off with ballistas. Now, what are ballistas good for? Because obviously they don't do as much damage as the main attack force. Well, your guys' job is to make this run profitable. You'll see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen that there are a couple red circles surrounding some parts on the dragon. So what you're going to want to be aiming for are these parts right here. Make sure to communicate with your teammates because for you to get a break off right here, you're going to need to hit the same spot 25 times. So it's a little bit obnoxious to do by yourself because the ballistas fire really slow. You'll see right here that I'm moving back and forth between two ballistas just because it helps your fire rate a little bit more. If you do miss, it's a little bit annoying. The spear will kind of just fly off into infinity. If you click E and then just move around a little bit, you'll zone back into your character. So these drops range from 10k to like 600k. So again, you guys are the reason that this run is profitable, so make sure you're just communicating well. Every 5 hits, you'll see right here, he staggers a little bit, so it'll give you kind of a visual that you are doing the correct thing and that you guys are organized. So you'll see the break off right there. Other break-offs aren't as obvious as the tail. Actually, I don't think there's any visual like difference when you break off the other parts, but you'll see right here that the two breakoffs that we were aiming for were the spines and the horns, which are the most expensive, also the hardest to get. But just as a general rule, if you have any extra time as a ballista, say that somebody took the ballista to your right so you can't switch back and forth and you have to wait for the ballista to reload, I would just take to filling up these pools just in case, because a little bit later you're going to need them for a DPS effect that the dragon's going to put on you. So, as a ballista, there are a couple attacks you're going to want to watch out for. Anytime he goes up into the air, I would just hop right off that ballista. This one you see right here, he'll fly really far away from the map, torch half of it, and then swing back around and torch the other half. Easiest way to avoid this is just hop in one of the houses. The house is down in one shot, but they do grant you invulnerability as long as they're fully built. And if for some reason you cannot get into a house, just run to the opposite side he's torching and then run back to the other side he just torched. It's a little bit hard to do because you have to be pretty precise. You have to turn around and start booking it right away. But again, just I would, anytime he gets in the air, just jump into one of the houses because you're safe there. In this next move, Charizard flies around the map in a figure 8 pattern and rains down fireballs on you. So again, just hop in one of the houses. That's the easiest way to do it. The other way is if you're well organized with a couple people, you could pop a couple ballista shots in him and he'll ram himself into the ground and he'll be down for like 10-15 seconds. And you can get a ton of damage on him like that, but you don't usually see that because, you know, organization isn't usually a thing in these unless you're doing it with your guild. So, third and final flying attack this guy's got, and this is where the pools come in handy that we were talking about before. He'll hop up on that rock right there after flying under the map, and he'll shoot these fireballs at you, or they kind of look like little black licorice balls. But if they hit you, they'll put a damage effect on you that does 78 damage a second until forever. So what you're going to want to do is keep those pools filled, because if you run in the pools, then it takes the damage effect off of you, and it kind of just simplifies things. So again, just stay in the damn house whenever he gets up. And if you do get hit, just run into a pool like you see right here. It'll only take you down to 1 health. It won't kill you completely, but you know, being at 1 health around a giant dragon, if he sneezes on you, you will die. So moving on to the next attack, we're moving more towards Tac Squad territory now, but ballistas still have to be careful of these couple attacks. So this one's very similar to the last one, only the animation of the dragon is a little bit differently. He'll scream into the air, the camera's gonna shake, and then these balls will come raining back down upon you like they did before. Again, they're gonna put that damage effect on you, so the only way to get that off is gonna be to go back to the spring located in the corners of the maps and fill up that pool. If it's not filled up, again, a little bit annoying, so just try to keep them full. This is going to be the last long range attack that ballista guys need to worry about, so he'll hump back on his back legs, and then he'll come down and he'll blow a fireball at you. So ballistas, watch out for that fireball, and then main attack force, you're going to just want to watch out for those front feet going down. As long as you're not directly in front of him, you're fine, so I would suggest Tac Squad, just attack his back legs, because that'll put you out of range for a lot of his attacks. So you'll see this one, similar to the last one, but he'll lift that left leg up instead of lifting both legs up. And this attack actually does a shitload of damage, but the windup is pretty obvious. So you'll see that left leg, again, it goes up. You'll see the particle effects around his mouth, and real easy, you can either block or dodge. And then again, just stay on his back feet while you're attacking. So this one, a little bit annoying, variation of the last attack, only much less windup to it. He'll choose a random side to blow fire on. He'll kind of arch up his back a little bit, so it's a little bit obvious, but definitely a lot harder to tell than when he's just blowing fire straight in front of him. I couldn't really figure it out very well. So again, this one's a little bit of a wild card for me, but again, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, about 2k on me, and I don't have very much defense. So with that last attack done, we're on to melee attacks. So this first attack is a little bit of a bitch if you don't know what you're doing, but it's pretty easy to dodge if you do. So what you're going to want to watch out for are 2 wing flaps, and then he'll open to full wing width, and then he'll swoop down on you. So let's see it in slow motion real quick. If you know what you're doing, this attack is probably the easiest one to dodge. You'll see he opens his wings, and when he's not moving up or down, that's when you want to either initiate your dodge or initiate your block. So remember that time where I said to attack his back legs because it'll make you immune to most attacks? Well, as soon as you see him look behind himself and then slap his tail on the ground, I want you to disregard that, because that means he's winding up for a tail attack, and if you're attacking the back legs, then you're going to get hit. So as soon as you see those 2 actions, make sure to run to his front 2 feet. And just as a general rule, I would try to keep from staying directly under him, just because it's hard to see his windups while you're doing that. You'll see for this attack right here, if you're under him, you're not going to be able to see anything. This is actually the last melee attack, and he'll jump back on his back legs, wind up like a little cat, and then pounce forward. So he has 2 variations of this. Both do the same amount of damage, and both are pretty much the same attack. One he just claws forward, and the other one he moves forward with his head. So this attack, a little bit annoying for the Tac Squad, just because when you're so close, it's a little bit hard to see his windup. Also, I just want to go back to the tail attack real quick, that when you do a break off and you rip off his tail, it still registers as his tail being there. So that could be a little bit annoying. Just make sure to, in your head, recognize that his tail still registers as being there, and even though it looks like you're not going to get hit by his little short stubby tail he's swinging around, you still will get hit by it. So that pretty much covers all of the attacks for... I still can't pronounce his name for the life of me, so we're gonna keep on referring to him as Charizard. So real quick before we closed out this video, I just wanted to talk about the whole sticky mines and spear situation. So what those would be useful for were, say the dragon gets too close to your ballista and you need to hop off, so you need to keep your mobility to dodge the dragon, but you still want to get those break-offs. Well, you could use the spears then, or if you need some help from the attack force, if somebody has spears there, it would help. So, just in situations where you're really close to getting a break off and you need a little bit of extra help, those are what the spears and sticky mines are for. But that pretty much covers everything for this fight. I would just like to thank you for watching all the way to the end. And if you guys need any other guides on anything else, then just let me know and I'll try to make one. I hope this helped. I mean, it helped me a little bit because I got to figure out some of the patterns for this guy, so hopefully I won't die as often now. But yeah, this has been fun making, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you later.